In previous session we have covered an introduction to Databricks and creating a community edition for practicing for training purpose, and how to create a notebook and notebook features and how to use the notebooks. So please go through those sessions, and today's session I am going to cover on how to upload files, and based on those files how to create a notebook on top of that, and how to understand existing default templates in Databricks. Okay, so if you go to home page, there you can find drag files, click here to browse. So default you can use this option where you can upload the files into this data. The data means, so I will show you that. Let's start with click to browse here. So you can upload a file. I have a data file here. Yeah, this is my data file. So there are multiple options here, you can see. Okay, uploading file directly and other sources, S3 bucket. Okay, you can choose that. So this is the file which we have selected this, and here you can see there are other options. Create a table with UI based on this file data, whatever data you can create a file, and the target directory where if you want to store this, you can mention this path, file store tables. Okay, and you can create a notebook. You can create a notebook based on this file. You can click on this, create a table in notebook. Click on this. See here, complete notebook it is created, and select the cluster whenever we are running this. Here you can see this is a Python notebook it is created, and this is a overview and what this notebook will do, complete information it is giving. And here you can see the file location which I have uploaded that file, and file type is CSV, and here you can see CSV file whenever we are uploading those options. Insert schema, rows is a header, like first row is a header false, and a delimiter, comma, because it's a CSV file, comma delimiter. And when we are reading this, when we are creating a data frame, reading the CSV file, these all variables it is declared here and we are using here. Okay, and finally if you want to display that, just you can control enter, run this. So we are reading that file and creating a data frame, and we are displaying the data frame. Here you can see this. Okay, and have you observed here, we are using this insert schema false, and first row is header false. Actually first row is a header true, we need to mention. That's why if it is false, it is not considering this is as a column. Default it is displaying as row. So what you can do, you can change that. Okay, now you can run it again, control enter. Now you can see this, now it's displaying columns. Okay, and here the data frame, here you can see this is all the column and data types. So CSV file default it will consider as strings, all columns. Then if you want to create a table, here you can see this is a temp table we are creating on top of this data frame. This is a data frame, and temp table name we are giving here is another variable. Okay, create temp table. It's not a physical table, it's a temporary table. It's like view on that data frame. Run this cell, it is created. Now you can run that in SQL. So if you want to run anything in SQL, just we have to use this %SQL. Why? Because this saved in a Python file. So other language you can use those language. If it is a Scala, we need to specify %Scala. So this is SQL, just we are specifying SQL. So here we used a display. Okay, displaying the data frame data. On top of the whatever the data frame it is created, we created one temporary table that's called temp view. Create or replace temp view, and that we are selecting the data using SQL query. And there are Other options, if you want to go for like creating another commands and saving this data into some Parquet file, you can use this. So here what is option, so whatever the data is available in this data frame, instead of creating a temporary view, we can store this data into a table, save as table. Here you can see, and the table data is Parquet file. Just run this, and this is the variable where we are using this save as a table name. Control enter. So where it will create this table, so where it will create means default database it will create. Go to data. Here you can see in default database it is created. For example, if you have a specific database, I have my two databases, my testdb. So testdb, I don't have any tables. So if you want to create there, you can just mention database name. Okay, database name my testdb. Okay, so my testdb it is considering as a variable name, so that's why it is thinking that it's not defined. So what you can do, this variable name, so here two are variables, string variables. So whenever you are using multiple strings, so you have to concatenate. So in Python we will use a plus symbol, and here we need to use in between database name dot table name, right? So what you can do, plus single quote we will pass this, then again one more plus here. So this before dot database name, after dot table name. So you can run now. A table will be created. So the table we are creating in database name called my testdb. So it is done. Go to data. Here you can see emp_csv file has been created. Okay, this is a physical table, it is created. And if you want to verify that, so we can use file system %fs. So where it is storing %fs, file system ls you can use. So everything we are storing into in community edition, all the files will store into this cloud itself. But if you go for enterprise edition, so there we have options like we can store into any of the storage systems, like if you are using Azure blob storage, there we can store this. So here you can see this is the file storage, user folder, temp folder, ml folder, delta, all delta tables will be stored here, and Databricks data sets and results. So data sets, okay, so if you want to look at specific folders where if you want to verify any files, these are all default for if you are working any of the requirement to understand the complete how it will work. So we can go for using this data sets, database data sets. So there you can see this multiple folders, you can see this R data sets, airlines. Okay, if you go to adult, so this folder is having adult data and adult.test. So like this, for practicing purpose we can use this Databricks datasets folder. Same thing, there are other folders available for practicing, for training. Our datasets, saying for airline. This is very important. Instead of looking at internet for multiple files, uploading files, just you can go for using these files. Okay, all part files, you can see this. So this is all related to data sets. In file system they are giving a default, and a specific folder if you are looking, you can use this. Otherwise you can use ls, and ls it will display all Here you can see it will display available all. So in Delta Lake, any tables are available in Delta Lake. There you can see this. Only one table is available in Delta Lake. That table name is called diamonds. So in previous session I have created one Delta Lake table. That table name is called diamonds. It's created. You can verify the data files also. See here, these all the files are available. Packet file, it's created. So like this, if you want to create this as a Delta table, then you have to change this query. So earlier another notebook which we will get a default notebook, right? That quick start notebooks. Here you can see this commands for practicing. This is SQL one. Here you can see format delta, and I'm storing this table into delta diamonds. Okay, so same thing, that whatever you are created that data frame, if you want to save this into delta table, just you can use this format type. This is a test notebook. I think we created the new notebook, right? In user, we created this. df dot override we are using. Override means, so when every time it will drop the data and it will recreate that data. And here delta, and I am storing as emp. Control enter. Now instead of diamonds, you can go for emp and verify the files, how many files it will create, and format. Okay, now table has been created. Here you can see packet file has been created, and the size also you can see that. This is the log, delta log file, and this is the data file. So like this we can go for using uploading this data. So uploading this data, you can go to home folder, you can go to click on here, browse, you can select any data file. Then one option is creating a table with the notebook. In notebook, directly create table with UI. So the previous we have choose this option, it is create a notebook. Now if you choose this option, again it will ask which cluster and you want to create this. This is the cluster, and preview the table. Here you can see this is all the preview. Table name, default it will take the file name. You can change if you want to change this, and create a database. Which database you are going to create? I'm going to create in my test DB, and the file type is CSV, column delimiter, as well as first row is header. So first row is a header, you can choose this option. Okay, and infer schema. So infer schema, whatever the data type it is, it is you can see this int, string, and the multi-line. So JSON, if you are going for JSON, see if you remove this infer schema, you can see default it is selecting as all string, because it's a CSV file. Default it will consider as string data type. If you choose this infer schema based on data, it will identify that data type. And you can create a table. So it will create a new table in this database, DEPT_CSV. Okay, so this is the way where we can go for store this data, like uploading this data into any of the database. Like this database, it's a Databricks database. We created this table. You can see this schema and data. So just go to data, there you can see this database and you can see the table. This is my table which we created now. This is the table. You can refresh this. Okay, you can see this. Same thing, other table also which we created, that table also you can see this. This schema and data still it is loading. So like this we can go for uploading this data into a database, or you can upload into any of the file systems. So that, as I told you, that one is creating a table, another one is uploading into S3 bucket, DBFS file system and other sources. Okay, so these are all the other sources. One method is uploading the files, and if you have any other sources you can choose those other sources. Okay, these are all the other sources, you can connect those. DBFS, which is a Databricks file system. Okay, you have to mount that locations, like these are default existing locations which it is available, like file store, where you can say this existing file stores. Okay, these are the directories in Databricks file system, it is available. You can choose existing file and you can create a table, or you can create a notebook, create table using a notebook. Okay, default it will be created. So like this we can go for creating a table in Azure Databricks. So if you like this video, please subscribe my channel and share this video. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you very much.